Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to create a job to actually handle and process our comment and our reply. So we'll use the same job to be able to create a comment and to create a reply. So let's get started. All right, so in your code editor where you have obviously your application open, just open up your terminal and then just press php artisan make job. And we're going to call this one create comment. All right, so then you press enter. So as you can see, job successfully created. All right, let's quickly go to that job. So create comment, this one right here. So there's a couple of things we need to obviously update the constructor, and we need to create a static function from request, and then we're going to execute the job right here. All right, so let's quickly add a couple of fields in here. The ones that we need is we need one for the parent ID, the body, the depth, the commentable, and stuff. Okay. All right. So let's start off with the first one. All right. The first one that we're going to do is we're going to create the one for the body. Okay. And let's add another one. This one will be for the parent ID. So parent ID like this. And then we're going to add another one. And this one will be for the author. Just actually add my constructor and the one for the author. Okay, and then we're going to add another one. And this one will be for the commentable. I'm just going to put a capital. All right, let's add another one. And this one will be for the depth. Like this. Okay, so I can just remove this extra comma in there. So private body, just do this. Put the comma in there. Right, there's a couple of updates I want to do in my constructor. Right, I want to bring in the user model. So the user model must basically be for the author. So I'm just going to bring my author in. So just make sure I import that at the top. As you can see, the next one is for the commentable. I just want to use my interface for that, the contract that we created. Just bring that in. For the body, that's going to be a string. Okay. For the parent ID, this will be an optional integer. And for the depth, I'm going to make that an optional integer as well. Okay, we can obviously add them in here as well, but I'm just going to leave it as such. All right, so just make sure you have them in the same order, the body, parent ID, the author, commentable, the depth in here as well, because we're going to have them in the same order when we actually create the from request, which we're going to do right now. So let's quickly create a private static function. Static function. Right. And we're going to call this one from request. Right. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to bring in our comment request, the one that we created just in 2 episodes back. And we're just going to do the request like this. And we're just going to do self. All right, just make sure we bring this in at the top right there. As you can see, the comment request, I'm bringing it in right there. Right, so let's return the new static. So just do new static. All right, like this. Now, the thing is, what we want to do, I'm actually just going to add a semicolon at the end right there. Now, the first one will be the request body. So request body, this one right here. Just make sure that you add them in the same order. As you can see, there's body, parent ID, author, commentable. We're going to do them in the same order. All right, the next one will be the request.parent ID. This one right here, but we need to update our parent ID quickly. Let's go in our comment request right here. As you guys remember from the previous episode, I actually made it like this. Parent ID, right? Just make sure that you add them without the underscore like this. Okay. Next one is the request. This one will be for the author. Okay, and after the author is the commentable. So request commentable. And the last one is the depth. All right. So just to make sure they're all in the same order. Now, the last part we're going to do is actually executing the job from here. So let's quickly do that. We're going to do a comment like this. Just make sure we bring it in. App models comment. Right, so as you can see, it's imported. And what we're going to do is we're going to set a comment equal to new comment. Right, and then we're just going to create an array. And then we're going to set the body is going to be equal to this body. And then what we're going to, let me just move this down a bit so that you guys can easily see it. Right, and then we have the parent ID. Just move this up. The parent ID, we're going to just send it to this parent ID. Right, and then we have the depth, this one right here. And we're just going to set the depth to this. Right, so that's all done. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to say who actually created this comment. So we're just going to do an authored by. Now we're going to pass in the user. So this author, okay, that like this. Now the one that we created, remember, I'll show you in a second. We created a to method. Now, as you can see, it's indicating me the commentable and the commentable, or obviously the variable right there. Now, the thing is with this is we going to assign this comment to either a post or a thread or whatever the case may be. So we're not limited. Let's say we want to add articles that also want to have comment. We can use the exact same job to do that because we set up polymorphic relationship. Okay, so the commentable to. And we're going to just send it to this commentable. Like this. All right. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to save the comment. And then we're just going to return the comment. Okay. And then we're all done. So hopefully no errors. So let's quickly create one and see if we can create it. But before we actually do that, we need to go to our comment controller. Let's quickly go there. Comment controller. As you can, guys, remember, we're returning the request right here. So what we need to do is we need to dispatch this job. So let's quickly do that. Dispatch sync. Create comment. And this one right here. And we're going to use the static function, and we're just going to pass in the request. All right, and then we just want to return back. All right, there's a couple of things we can add, statuses and all that kind of things in here, but we're just going to just return back like this. Okay, so let's quickly create a comment and actually see if we can create one. So, all right, so hopefully no errors. Let's just say new comment. Let's quickly press submit. All right, unknown column depth in field list. Right, I forgot to run the migration, so I'll quickly do that and let's try again. All right, so let's quickly type in new comment. Okay, so let's quickly add that. All right, so as you can see, the comment is created. So let's quickly try and do a reply. But before I do that, I just want to set the maximum limit to 3. Right, so let's go to my env file. As you can see, the max level comment, so it's just 3 levels, so I mustn't go more than that. So let's see if it works. Hopefully with no errors. So let's quickly try here. Say reply comment level 1. Reply comment to level 1. Let me just do it like this. Submit. Right, let's see. All right, so as you can see, there is level 1. This is level 2, so all good stuff. So let's try again. Now 1, 2, so I can do one more, and then after that, the reply button mustn't exist. So reply comment to level 2. After that, the reply button should disappear. Right, so as you can see, the reply button is gone, and it indented it quite nicely. So I can keep on replying to this post. Let me just say second reply to level 1, submit. Quickly see. So as you can see, I can reply to that one, no problemo. But as you can see, I cannot reply to these 2 comments. So there's the maximum depth I'm allowed to go in because of the setting that we set. So if I change it to 4, you will see that this will create a reply right there. Okay, so let's quickly do that. And so let's go to my env file, and I'm just going to change this to 4, and hopefully it works. Right, so as you guys can see, now I can reply to this comment. Right, so it's totally up to you how you want to set them up and stuff like that. Okay. Right, so thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, or anything that you would like to see me add to this, or anything like that, please leave it with me in the comment section. All right, the response haven't been great so far, so I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed at the moment. So please, guys, do let me know. All right. Otherwise, everything is just a waste. I wanted you guys just to learn something new or whatever the case might be. All right. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one, and adios.